Welcome to Fire Sale Franchise episode 18, and now it's week 7, and you know what that means? That means that by the end of this episode, we will be halfway through the season. We will have played 8 games. We'll have a pretty good idea what we're going to look like by the time the season finishes, although we have been very on and off so far this season. A couple of games good, a couple of games pretty bad. Currently, it seems to have been 2 games we play very well, we lose 1. 2 games we play very well, we lose 1. But that leaves us at 4-2, better than the 2-3 Jets we're going to be playing. But before we get into that, we got some player contracts to negotiate. So let's see, Jason DeMond, we're not going to bother re-signing. Trey Hopkins, we're not going to bother re-signing. Tyrus Thompson, we're not going to bother re-signing. Rashaan Melvin, I don't see the point in re-signing him. And Nate Ebner, again, he's a decent guy to have around, only $740,000. It's always nice to have a backup, so we'll keep him there. I'm happy to sign and continue playing with this great organization. Thank you. You know, we're Super Bowl bound some point in the future, in the next 12 years, maybe. Who knows? But that is it for admin before this game. Now, of course, we've got a couple of injuries that don't need looking at, but I want to show. And it's pretty bad. It could be worse, but we're still missing Tajae Sharp for 2 weeks. D. Milliner, our slot corner who's got interceptions, sacks, all sorts of stuff from that position, is out for 4 weeks, and our return specialist Marquise Goodwin, who has already scored 2 punt return touchdowns this season, is out for 4 weeks as well. Now, all of those players are replaceable to a certain extent, but at the same time, the guys behind them don't really come close to replacing exactly what they do. At quarterback, the Jets have a rookie starting for them, a 78 overall, 6'6", 234-pound guy. He's got good speed at 76, and 94 throw power, 86 short throw, 83 medium throw. That's pretty good. They also have TJ Stanford, a rookie, 78 overall, 5'10", 177, 90 speed for him. So outside of those changes, there's not much else, but I say outside of that, they have a new quarterback. That's a pretty big deal. So we've got a chance to get Cam Newton version 2 off the field here on 3rd and 4. He overthrows this guy, so we do. They go for a field goal, up 3-0, and then we get a chance to get down the field with Keith Marshall running down the sideline. Not as big as some of his gains, but still pretty big. Now we're down on the 18-yard line, a little bit of a play action. A pass that could have been a first down there on 3rd and 3, but was dropped. So now we're even at 3-3. Nice pressure there. Don't know if Devon still could have caught that, but it could have had them sweating a little bit, so they're dropping back to pass again on 3rd and 9. Another chance to get him off the field. Good pressure there in the end. Scooby Wright brings down Matt Forte, and we get him off the field. Now we get a chance to go up ahead if we can get the ball down the field. Instead, we do that. Throw an interception, and let's just say Hackenberg didn't misthrow that ball. On 1st and 10 here, they go for a reverse. Dion Jordan is having none of it, tackles Forte for a loss. And on 3rd and 14, we've got a real good chance to get them off the field. The pressure doesn't really get there. The first tackler misses Matt Forte, but then Jameson Nickerson brings him down. That's 4th down. They go for the field goal. They get the field goal, 6-3. Hackenberg gets out of a little bit of pressure there, does throw it short, but Rico Gathers manages to pick the ball up. A decent gain there. We managed to get the first down later on. That sets up this pass to Malcolm Mitchell. Wide open touchdown on the 2-minute warning, so we go up 10-6, and we would have liked to take the lead into the second half, and Jameson Nickerson does what he can about that. Then 2nd and goal, the very next play, Forte slips into the flat. We weren't covering the flat with our zones. It was probably a bad play call. Could have been played slightly better by the players as well, but what can you do? Hackenberg all day and then some in the pocket, and he does that. Now that was the final throw of the second half, so it really was irrelevant whether he threw an interception or not, but you would have liked to see at least something slightly better looking there. But then he throws this to Malcolm Mitchell to start the second half. A nice corner to him, and he just goes and takes it all the way for the touchdown. So we were down 13-10 for all of 20 game clock seconds or something like that. And then the Jets are looking to answer here. Kyler Fackrell maybe had a tackle for a loss there. And then everybody takes a pretty bad angle of pursuit. And Matt Forte goes in for the touchdown. It gives us the ball back down 3, 20-17. A nice pass on 3rd and 3 there to DJ Foster for the first down. Hackenberg continues to move the ball downfield. A really nice screen there. Quick little screen to Michael Thomas for 11 yards. We'll take that all day long. And we had the chance possibly for a touchdown there. Maybe that's overstating it, but Hackenberg throws behind the receiver. It gets broken up. But then he throws a nice one here to Malcolm Mitchell over the middle for the first down on 2nd and 10. And on 2nd and 1, Keith Marshall takes it through the middle, fumbles the ball, and this has got to be the biggest scrum I've ever seen for a fumble on Madden. Everybody is on that pile, all 22 players, and eventually the Jets get it, but we get a nice blitz there. It takes them for a loss of 3. They end up turning the ball over, and then we do this with Keith Marshall. A nice run, and he fumbles again. So that's 2 fumbles in a row for Keith Marshall. But we still trust the guy for now. Christian Hackenberg, nobody to throw to, takes a nice run there over the 20-yard line. Pretty nice gain. Keith Marshall through the middle again, and this time gets into the end zone, so gets a touchdown. Pretty similar play to when he fumbled. Nice play from him. We're now up 23-20, and a good blitz there from Dion Jordan. That's his 2nd sack of the day. And on 3rd and 10, pressure comes from Ray Waddle. Now, Ray Waddle's playing because Kevin Pierre-Lewis was injured at some point in this game. Can't remember exactly when it was, but we get the ball back. 2nd and 6. Hackenberg looking for something, finds Marcus Gilchrist. So that was still a bad throw, but again, it's one where he was unlucky on that interception. They get the ball back, drop him back to look for something. They find Brandon Marshall. And now that wasn't exactly just a missed tackle. Brandon Marshall actually did pull a little move there to force the missed tackle, but still not good enough. We've got to be safer than that when we try and tackle a big guy like Marshall. He can make you miss, and this is where we bring in Aaron Murray. So Aaron Murray, first completion there. And then, oh, look at that. He gets out of that, manages to get the ball to Rico Gathers. Rico Gathers doesn't quite bring it in, but what a move from Aaron Murray in the pocket there. And then on the next play, to Brandon Coleman, touchdown, and we go up there 30-27. And now it's desperation time for the Jets here, trying to get the ball downfield. They need a field goal to make it even. Are they going to get it? 4th and inches. Jameson Nicholson stops Matt Forte getting the first down, but on 4th and inches, they go for it, and they manage to get the first down. 49 seconds left now. 2nd and 10. Throws it downfield, overthrows everybody. There was no one there. Now it's 3rd and 10. 45 seconds left. Rush not really getting to him, but it's pretty good coverage downfield. Still stood there all day long. Brandon Marshall finds him on the return. He comes back across in front of the first down marker. They kick the field goal. Must have been 49 yards. Hits the crossbar. It's no good. Saints win. Hey, that was the closest game we've had this season. It was pretty exciting, and listen, I said this before and everybody stuck up for him, but I feel like Christian Hackenberg may have lost his job this time. Now, at the end of last season, I did make everything more difficult. That means quarterback accuracy went down, catching from the receivers went down, but the difference between when I've played with Christian Hackenberg, who's been throwing it about like a madman, and I know some of those interceptions weren't fully his fault this week, compared to Murray, who's just been throwing dimes. He's been so much better accuracy-wise than Hackenberg when he's got a chance. I just can't see how I can justify not going with the hot hand in this situation. We do it in every other position. We dropped Malcolm Mitchell a spot because Michael Thomas was playing so well. We've done it in other positions on defense and things, and it's not fair to not do that at quarterback. Sure, okay, most teams, pretty much any other team, wouldn't just do this like that midway through the season, midway through a game, but most teams don't trade away pretty much every single starter on their team and go with a bunch of free agents and cast-offs. We are not most teams, and I think we need to go with the hot hand here, Aaron Murray. Give him a game. If he doesn't do well, then he doesn't do well. But he's been playing well so far. In that game, 83 completion percentage. Threw it 6 times, completed it 5 times for 61 yards and a touchdown. And the one incompletion, he masterfully slid through the pocket, avoided a sack, and then Rico Gathers dropped the ball. Sure, it wasn't thrown perfectly, and that's why he dropped it. It was a difficult catch for Rico Gathers to make, but he, I think, absolutely proved himself in that final drive. The game-winning drive above all else as well. Keith Marshall did okay today, except for fumbling twice. 81 yards. One of those fumbles just went out of bounds. The other one was obviously a turnover, and we were about 5 yards out from the goal line. Probably would have been a very different looking game if we recovered that one. That's the biggest fumble scramble I've ever seen in one pile until it finally got picked up. Malcolm Mitchell, who's now playing in that slot position, 130 yards, 4 receptions. Michael Thomas, 62 yards. Mitchell, of course, also 2 touchdowns. We're not the same team we were last year, that's for sure. I'm not entirely sure what's changed, if it's me, if it's how people play us, but DJ Foster game in and game out was the highest receiver on our team, and nowadays he's just not getting open. I don't know if it's him, I don't know if it's defenses, I don't know if it's me. I think my voice broke halfway through there. Defensively, the 2 safeties leading in tackles, and Jameson Nicholson twice had huge tackles. Once it was a goal line stop, then it was a stop on for 4th and inches, and both times afterwards they still managed to get done what he stopped them doing. The 4th and inches wasn't his fault, the goal line kind of was. There wasn't too much pressure to begin with, and then it really started to come. Dion Jordan 2 sacks, Scooby Wright 1, Trey Flowers half a sack, and David Onyemata half a sack as well. So we're doing alright with pressure. 4 sacks today isn't bad at all. 2 games with 8 sacks, but turnovers. We had the one game against the Panthers where we were turnover crazy, forced fumbles, interceptions, all sorts of stuff. Since then, we've not really done too much. We need more of that from the defense. So one new injury, one player has regressed. I think I know what that regression is going to be. Okay, so it's still injury for Keith Marshall, which is starting to become a worry. Another thing I actually saw on Keith Marshall's thing was that he's got 92 carrying, but he put the ball on the ground twice that game. So the injury, I do remember who that was, but I forgot who it was. Of course, I completely forgot, and this is, oh no, Kevin Pierre-Louis with a forearm fracture in that game, out for 5 weeks. That's a huge blow to the team. I mean, the one thing I do see in that as a positive is the fact we get to see Ray Waddle now. This guy was very exciting in the preseason, showed a little bit when he came in to replace Kevin Pierre-Louis then in that game. I think he will make more rookie mistakes over Lewis, things like missed tackles, stuff like that, but I'm excited to see how he does. Obviously, it's a huge shame to lose Kevin Pierre-Louis, but it's still, you got to find the positives in there, and that is it, Ray Waddle getting to play. I just accidentally used all the points on this guy. I was half asleep at the wheel. I kept pressing square and going, why is it not showing me what Patrick McClendon's done? Pressed it again and then turned out I accidentally scouted him fully. I've done it again! I'm asleep at the wheel here, I have no idea what's going on. So again, nobody really exciting, nobody with any worthwhile A stats. So we've got a big injury decision, which I don't think is a big injury decision at all. We're not going to make Tajay Sharp play. Receivers-wise, we're so rich, we don't need to force guys into playing. Now, we're going to be playing the Falcons at home. And now they put a hurt on us in that first game, so it is kind of revenge time. Most coaches don't like to say it's a game that's about revenge. I don't care, we're playing Madden, it's about revenge. I really want to give Murray his first start, and I'm going to do it. I was going to say it's a big game, I don't care, we're playing the hot hand. I said it, I'm not playing politics. We made it to the playoffs with a team all under 70s. We're going to make this decision when it seems like the right one. Defensively, Ray Waddle, of course, nothing's changed since 2 seconds ago. But the point, of course, is that we're playing those Falcons who beat us already with a significantly weaker team. I don't know if I checked it the last time, I just checked it now. The Falcons don't have any rookies worth talking about. The only one I saw was the third string tight end. So nothing that's going to come up in this game. And there's nothing else left to say really. This is the final game before we reach the half point of the season. Then it's a bye week and we've got the final 8-game stretch. Obviously good news with the bye week. It means everybody that's still injured is only injured that 1 week less, or we'll miss 1 game less. So we're going to be rolling with Aaron Murray against the Falcons. And I know it might not be the most popular decision. Well, actually, as of having looked back at the most recent comments from last episode, it actually is a relatively popular opinion in terms of if Hackenberg continues to tank, maybe give Aaron Murray a go. This might not be the best game, but for that very reason, it is the best game. So the last time we played the Falcons, it was away from home and we lost to them 52-31. This time we are giving Aaron Murray a slight advantage of being at home, but we now will have a direct comparison. It's the same team, it's the good week to do it. Aaron Murray was the hot hand when we put him in last week. He played pretty well. It might not be the best business decision to do this on Monday Night Football, but it also wasn't the best business decision to trade away a bunch of high value veterans and go into a season with a bunch of rookies and stuff like that. We did that, we'll do this, let's see what happens. Second play of the game here, 2nd and 12. Devontae Freeman to the outside, and that's our linebackers just chasing the ball there. Both Perry and Fackrell joining together to stop Freeman for no gain. 3rd and 10, a little bit later on that same drive, Matt Ryan launches it downfield. That was Ray Waddle on Freeman. Doesn't manage to keep up with him there, so Freeman gets a nice big gain, and then they go to the outside with Tevin Coleman, and that is absolutely blown up by Derek Milner there. Real nice play from him. Play action on 3rd and 8. Looking around, has all time in the world. That's our number 1 against their number 1. No touchdown, that's out of bounds, so they go for a field goal. That's what they're going to have to settle for. Keith Marshall, first run of the day, has absolutely nothing there, -1 yard. Look for the pass game here. DJ Foster's open. A nice little play to him. We need to start using him more. Don't forget, this is Aaron Murray's first game of the season where he's the starter and absolutely bombs one downfield to Michael Thomas. 42-yard touchdown to take us up 7-3. What a play from Aaron Murray, seeing that deep ball and just putting it perfectly where only Michael Thomas could get it. Real nice defensive play there from Jason Nicholson, breaks up that pass to Julio Jones. And now Devontae Freeman absolutely slices us, goes all the way down the field. Can anybody catch him? Ekpe Olumo is going to get there. They went from their own 25 to our 27 in one play. Great play from Freeman on the outside. Not so good that time. Perry drops in for a loss. Not going to see the same thing happen twice to us. And then on 3rd and 12, they go for a draw here with Coleman. Almost get the first down, but we stop them. 4th and 2. Force them to go for the field goal. And on this play, we got greedy. This is my fault. Exact same thing as we did when we scored that touchdown. Force it downfield to Brandon Coleman. It's intercepted. We got to remember Aaron Murray isn't that good with his deep accuracy. Very good short and medium, not that good deep. Joshua Perry there gets a nice sack on Matt Ryan. Our defense is going to help us out a lot here today if they keep playing like that. And they've got a chance here to turn this interception into nothing more than a wasted drive. Completion to Freeman, but Derek Milner forces the fumble. Scooby Wright is there to pick it up. They don't just stop the interception costing us, they turn it into a defensive touchdown. Scooby Wright takes it all the way in. He didn't have that far to run, but what a great play from Milner to break that ball out of Freeman's arms. And then Scooby takes it to the house, just like Marshall takes this one to the house. You know, once he gets on that edge and gets a good block or two, he's going to take it all the way. That's his 10th rushing touchdown of more than 20 yards this season. That's got to be record-breaking pace right there. And then on 3rd and 10, they try to run through the middle, almost get there, but 4th and 1, we managed to stop them. 21-6, and we've got the ball again. At least we did have the ball. That's an interception thrown there. Not a great play. Let's just say Aaron Murray wasn't the one at fault there. So the Falcons back in our red zone, 2nd and 2. Kyler Fackrell just comes flying in, tackle for a loss there on Freeman. So they finished that drive with a field goal. This is another drive after we did nothing. It's almost the end of the second half. We had the chance to stop them on 3rd and 8. They get down there, but then we stopped Devontae Freeman there on 3rd and 1. Kyler Fackrell again, this time with David Onyemata. That's his 4th tackle for a loss. 1st and 20 here. Pretty good coverage, so Aaron Murray just tucks it and goes with it. Maybe should have decided to slide there, but just goes head first into it, picks up 11 yards, and then 2nd and 9, the next play, finds Michael Thomas there on a corner route for a nice deep throw. So that turns 1st and 20. 2 plays, we're now got a first down on the 47-yard line. A couple of plays later, Aaron Murray decides to go for it again. And again goes head first. Picks up 9 yards that time, making it 3rd and 1, which is obviously a lot more manageable. And a couple of plays later again, 3rd and 6, finds Michael Thomas on a slant for the touchdown. So that puts us up ahead by quite a way now, 28-12. Falcons on 3rd and 6. Can we take the ball away from them? Force them to punt? Well, we're giving him all the time in the world in the pocket. Bombs one downfield to Julio Jones. That was the rookie Derek Milner there in coverage. He never stood a chance. Julio Jones just uses his size and his body. And then on this one, next play gets the touchdown, and now there was some communication error, shall we say, with Ekpreolumu, and that's the reason he didn't even make a play on the ball. So it's 28-20 now. Malcolm Mitchell there with a nice play, brings it down inside the 25, and now it's 3rd and goal on the 3. Can we get a touchdown here? And no, we can't. Malcolm Mitchell there. Aaron Murray should have tried to throw him into the end zone a little bit more, but we do get the field goal there, 31-20. And now with 40 seconds left, it's kind of irrelevant if they do get in the end zone, but they don't get on the end zone on that one. They go for a field goal, and then on this onside kick, I tried to audible to an onside kick recover, just messed up on it, didn't get it, but that doesn't matter anyway, because DeJuan Smith there cleans it all up, gets an interception, ends the game. That was much more like it. That's what we wanted to see the last time we played this team. 31-23. That, of course, is a total points scored of 54, which is only 3 or 2 more than the Falcons scored on us the last time we played. I think they had 52 points. The entire game this time is only 54 overall. Aaron Murray played very well. Very well at the beginning. Got a little bit, not worse. Those two are pretty much my fault. 82% completion percentage. He didn't get worse. He went, for a while he was going with 100% completion percentage for his first 6-7 attempts or so, and then started trying to force some more things downfield. He's not the best downfield thrower, of course, threw a big touchdown, so he certainly can do it, but medium and short is where his accuracy is really good, and that's where he was really good today. Rushing, Keith Marshall had a pretty good day, 17 attempts, 4.8 per carry, 82 yards, 1 touchdown. Aaron Murray rushed for 25 yards, 2 big rushes, and then a couple of small QB sneaks and stuff for first downs. And receiving, Michael Thomas, maybe surprisingly, was his favourite target there. Malcolm Mitchell also he went to when he needed to, but you'd have thought maybe the Georgia connection would have been a bit stronger. Not that it has to be. Brandon Coleman also started getting into it a bit later in the game. DJ Foster had a little bit, not going back to that previous form from last year, but not doing badly either. Then Antoine Wall, just 1 catch for 12 yards, but he has got some wheels. High volume tackling day, and then Kyler Fackrell. 5 tackles for a loss. He only had 5 total tackles. Derek Milner as well was in the backfield a lot. Sacks-wise, we only got one. We had decent pressure. Well, actually, pressure wasn't that good, but we certainly had a lot of tackles for a loss. Kept that run game very short runs, apart from when we let them get really big runs. Pressure could have been a bit better, only the one sack. And of course, DeJuan Smith there on the final play of the game got an interception. And we can't forget Derek Milner's forced fumble, of course, which turned into a touchdown by Scooby Wright. A nice win there takes us to 6-2 on the season, may well take us to first in the division. And that it does, so we go into the bye week in week 9 as division leaders. Once again, we of course won the division last year. Now there's nothing left to do apart from keep scouting, and I think I've said it before, I'm going to repeat it again. All I'm doing right now, because of how many first and second round picks I have, I'm just going to go through all of these guys, check the first ones, and once I've done it all for the first and second rounds, I'll come back and then I'll go through them all through, but there's no point, well, there's no difference between now going and unlocking all of it for the best ones or doing that later, and I also don't really care about scouting. I mean, I drafted Jameson Nickerson exactly where he was supposed to go. I drafted Nat Newsom exactly where he was supposed to go. Everybody else I drafted was right around where they were supposed to go. I didn't overdraft anybody. Until that becomes a problem, I'm not going to worry about how efficient my scouting is. It works fine. I wanted to do absolutely everybody here first, so then we can go through it, and it's a little bit more interesting like that to me anyway. That said, we have now actually finished all the first and second rounders, so we'll go back to the top. And then first what we'll do, anybody with an A, because at this point we can draft everybody. Still thinking about wide receivers, maybe not, but I'm going to scout the really good looking ones anyway. But anyone with an A like Gabriel Bidwell will go through, and he looks pretty decent. A+ throw power, A- throw short accuracy, and B+ throw accuracy medium. And we look at that, 6 quarterbacks with first round ratings, and you never know, even these two might be quite early as well. So it's the bye week, it's also the end of this episode. It's been 8 weeks now, so at the start of next episode we will have a look at how everybody's stats are looking to see what kind of projections they have to finish the season with. We've also got a player returning from injury, and the first game in week 10 will be against the Buffalo Bills.